Hello students, today we are going to learn all about vectors. Our objective for the day is I can calculate the magnitude of a vector, draw vector quantities, use vector notation, and find the vector component form. Not sure we'll do every single one of those, but we'll get to most of them, okay? So we have a YouTube video here for you to watch, so go ahead and get on your Chromebooks and watch that, and then continue this video. A vector is a quantity that has both magnitude or length and direction. It is represented by a direct segment. It has an initial point and a terminal point. Here's the initial point, the tail. This is a V for vector, and this is the terminal point, the head, B. So naming conventions. Here's the name and here's the meaning. So AB with an arrow, it might look like a ray, but in this case it's a vector. A vector with initial point A and terminal point B. And here are two ways to represent a vector. An arrow on the top with a lowercase v italicized, and a bold V can also be known as a vector. Okay, a vector in standard position has its initial point at the origin, so it goes from here up to here. A vector can also be drawn anywhere in the coordinate plane. To write such a vector as an ordered pair, find the change in the x values and the change in the y values. When you have the initial point here, since this is 0, 0, it's really easy to find how you write the vector, and that one would be -3, 4, since its initial point is at 0, 0. So for this one, we could say V, and I should probably make it bold, equals, and then it kind of looks like the less than sign, and we go -3, 4. Okay, so that's how you would write that vector right there, knowing that it starts at 0, 0, and goes up to -3, 4. So this ordered pair is called the component form of the vector. And again, it's from the tip to the tail. So right here, or the head, or actually this is the initial point, and this is the terminal point, okay? So we'll go on to number 1. And again, since it's 0, 0, all we have to do is look at the ordered pair that would be here, because it starts here. When it starts somewhere else, it's a lot harder. So for here, we can say, okay, our x value is -4, and make sure we do it in vector notation, and then 3. And we're done with that one. Okay? So this one is more challenging because it doesn't start at 0, 0. It starts clear over here. So we have to find the change in y. Actually, it's the change in the x values. Okay, so we have the x values here, and we begin with our x1, y1, and that is going to be at -4, -2. So our first one would be, I'll put -4, -2, and then our next one is at -1, 3. Okay, so there's our 2 points. So here's the beginning. So this one is our x1, y1, and this is our x2, y2. Okay, so we do our change in our x values. We do x2 minus x1. So we do -1 minus -4, 4, comma, and then we go take the y2, 3, minus the y1. Okay. Okay, so when we get -1 minus -4, that becomes plus +4. So that will be 3, and then 3 minus negative 2 would be 5. And that's how you do this part. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of finding slope, but this one we do the change in the, you have to choose the endpoint first to start it. So we have to choose this endpoint first over here. So we start with -1, the x values, minus a -4, and then a 3 minus a -2. So it's super important to know where it begins and where it ends so you can name your vector properly. And that's called the vector component. Okay, so on these problems on the next page, write the component form of EF for this. So it says E is the beginning, F is the ending. So we start with the ending, and we're starting with the x value, so it's 7 minus 1, comma, and then it's 4 minus 5. Okay, so we can say that vector is, the component would be 6, comma, -1. And there, you're done with that. I'll let you do this, and you can stop the video and work on number 4. Okay, next we're going to talk about the magnitude of a vector, or the length of the vector. The distance formula or Pythagorean theorem can be used to find the magnitude. So here is our symbol for magnitude of a vector. The 0 vector 0, 0 has 0 length and no direction. It says sketch the vector v equals -3, 4, and find its magnitude. Now, if it doesn't give us another vector to connect it with or give us any other units, then we know it has to start right here at 0, 0. So we go ahead and draw the line. Hopefully this will let me draw it. I don't know if it'll just be straight across or if it'll let me, no, I don't think it'll let me go up. I'll have to do the rest of the video with a whiteboard. So we'll go ahead and pause this and go on to the second video. You can do this, students. You rock.